Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're having a great day. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. Bakkt, that is B-A-K-K-T, has completed their acquisition of Apex Crypto LLC, the blockchain technology platform announced on the 3rd of April. In November, Bakkt stated that it would be paying $55 million in cash, along with stock worth around $145 million for the trading platform. Launched in 2019, Apex Crypto is an integrated platform that handles execution, clearing, custody, cost basis, and tax services for its 30 different clients. The firm has facilitated $12.5 billion in digital asset trade since their inception. Bakkt CEO Gavin Michael said, "The acquisition marks an exciting new chapter for Bakkt, significantly advancing portions of our crypto roadmap, helping us tap into a universe of 5.8 million crypto-enabled accounts, and further establishing Bakkt as the B2B2C, those are the letters there, crypto provider of choice." Some of you know Bakkt, some of you do not. Back in, what was it, like 2019? It definitely wasn't 2020. I want to say 2018, 2019. The New York Stock Exchange, or the Intercontinental Exchange, otherwise known as ICE, I know it has multiple different names, I'm not sure why, announced that they thought crypto was just the bee's knees and they had to get into it, and it was the greatest thing in the entire world. If you were not here, I'm pretty sure it was 2018. There are articles, and I made sure to show all of you back then in the video, where I was like, something seems to be going on here. What was the thing that was going on here? The CEO of NASDAQ and then also the New York Stock Exchange had each separately announced that they believed that Bitcoin was the future. Bitcoin had the potential of becoming the world currency. Not even if you will, like this was explicitly what they said. You can find it. Look on your local search engine and type in like CEO New York Stock Exchange or CEO NASDAQ 2018 Bitcoin future. I don't know, like find like a weird combination of words. You'll definitely find it. Around that time, at the end of 2017, as the market had gone up, and then 2018 was like the great downfall, if you will, in prices. A lot of companies believed or had simply jumped quickly into the cryptocurrency market and were rather unaware of market cycles within the cryptocurrency space, as our market cycles are a lot closer together than they are for the stock market. So normal stock markets tend to have an 8 to 10 year period where things are going up consistently, and then they have a downfall over the course of 2 years. In the cryptocurrency space, we tend to go up for around a good year and a half, and then we have a 4-year down cycle. It's just the way that things have always been. So a lot of the companies who jumped into the cryptocurrency space thought that the prices would eventually run back up kind of forever, or whatever the thing that they were trying to think of. And the New York Stock Exchange / Bakkt was one of those companies. However, the crypto market did not recover as fast as they thought that it would. They began to lose tons of money. They launched multiple Bitcoin futures, and they were trying to get a Bitcoin ETF, and they had also launched other products. They were also trying to have like a cryptocurrency trading exchange platform on top of Bakkt. And I think we got news. Was it summer of 2019 or summer of 2020? I want to say 2019. Time is blending into itself. I don't really know anymore. There was one June in particular, June or July, where Bakkt did $0 worth of volume. Zero. Not $1, not 100,000. It was zero. There was no one who was trading on their platform at all. So they announced that they would be taking a step back. We're going to wait a little bit. We're going to see exactly where things go. I think the excuse that they gave was that they were waiting for regulatory clarity. And I'm like, you're the New York Stock Exchange. I'm pretty sure you got all that stuff in a day and a half. But the news was that they would take a bit of a breather to see where the market ended up going. This is the second Bakkt story that we've gotten over the course of the last month or so. There was something else earlier, maybe the end of March, where something about Bakkt was also, we're planning on re-entering the market and doing so and so and so. So I assume they acquired this company to be able to do all the execution, the clearing, the custody, the cost basis, and tax services. Because usually in the traditional financial world, you have to have multiple layers of everything. So one company cannot or should not regulatorily do everything, so that there's some kind of a, what's the word for it? It's not risk management, but that's kind of what it is. If one company does everything and they fall apart, well, the whole system breaks apart. But if you have 5 different companies doing 5 different things, then, you can kind of safeguard a little bit against that. Bakkt said it expects the transition to bolster the company's path back to profitability through product acceleration, revenue diversification, and cost synergies. They said joint capabilities will unlock new opportunities. There are a lot of unities in this sentence, like a lot of rhyming. It's like very Dr. Seussy, that appeal to the next generation of consumers, such as crypto rewards, as well as the potential to enter the international markets through partners, because I'm certain they are desperate to be able to actually have some type of an international presence, not just with the New York Stock Exchange, but also with crypto. Okay, 2018. It says created in 2018 by the Intercontinental Exchange, otherwise known as ICE. Bakkt started out by facilitating Bitcoin futures contracts for accredited investors. That's always the number one no-go. Back, if you remember a couple of months ago, I spoke about this briefly. Back in 2018, for some reason, and I'll say this lightly, we made the market. It's us. It's the retail investors who, are the heart and soul of the market. We still have a huge amount of energy and weight within the market as well, regardless of how many institutions have recently entered the cryptocurrency space. For some reason, back in 2018, a lot of these companies were only marketing things to the wealthy. Don't forget about the Coinbases, the Geminis. Yeah, remember all those stuff? The reason why Binance is number one, because Binance, from my memory, I do daily news. Binance did not release anything that was just for the rich. Coinbase and Gemini most certainly did. There were tons of other companies who did the exact same thing. I told you when NFTs became really, really, really popular, there's OpenSea, there was Super Rare, and there was another platform, and 2 of them only allowed well-established artists who had done over $50 million in sales and all this other stuff. Do we talk about those platforms anymore? No, because no one wanted to use them and no normal artist could use them either. It's the same exact issue with Bakkt. Bakkt was only launching these things when it says accredited. You usually have to go through some type of a a vetting process where they literally will ask you and see how rich you are, and then you can use your platform. Do you think they're going to get 100 million people on their platform by doing something like that, or simply allowing everyone to use their platform? Exactly. So the issue is that Bakkt, Coinbase, remember Coinbase had all those custody products, and they had Coinbase Pro that was only for rich people. And they basically had all announced. I'll never forget this. This is why I always say, keep an eye on who's acting really friendly now. It's the same exact thing with all those billionaires who were like, oh, we love crypto. We didn't tell you not to get into it before, but we love it now. That kind of thing. They created so many different products, and they told us, they said that they believed that the institutional money, the big money, the 100 million billionaires were going to be the reason why crypto succeeded. They were launching all these projects, all these products. Most of them got very, so weird. Most of them got very rapid clearance from the SEC, which is so odd because they still haven't given proper cryptocurrency regulation. Anyway, the point is, Bakkt is trying to come back into the market. I don't think it's going to work out for them. I think they're going to once again try and do this really weird elitist thing where they're only trying to target people who have tons of money and all this other stuff. They'll do well during a hyper bull run, But as far as like the actual long-term future of this platform, it's not going to hold on. You need to allow everyone in. The reason why we have cryptocurrencies is to allow everyone on the planet access to this new financial system. If you keep making it exclusive, as the current system is, and you're pushing people out, no one's going to want to use your product. Everyone in crypto has realized, or at least I hope you have, the system is open. You are able to use this. Think about like how easy it was for you to actually get cryptocurrencies and to be in this market. Did you ask permission to be inside of it? Imagine if tomorrow Coinbase was like, hey guys, you guys have to have over $500,000 on your account to keep your account, and you have to do more than $50,000 in trades per day. They'd probably only have like 300 customers by the end of this week. Anyway, so that's the Bakkt is trying to get back into the market. We'll see what happens. I'm not convinced. No matter how many companies you buy, you're still going to be garbage if you leave the people out of the market. They forget so easily. No. I was going to say they forget so easily, but they have already forgotten us. They don't think about us. I told you that before. Rich people don't care about us. We have to care about ourselves. That's the problem with society. Anyway, that's the Bakkt news. And yeah, let's move on. In news that should have been bigger and no one paid attention to it, the Swiss government-owned retail bank PostFinance or PostFinanza or PostFinance, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is gearing up to provide cryptocurrency trading and storage services to their clients. I'll repeat that one more time. A bank that is owned by the Swiss government is getting ready to launch cryptocurrency trading and storage services. Right, no one was talking about this news because people talk about Elon Musk and Dogecoin and Twitter and all the other unimportant stuff all the time. On the 5th of April, PostFinance and Signum, a local cryptocurrency bank, announced their partnership to provide consumers with a full suite of regulated digital asset banking services. Under this collaboration, PostFinance users will be able to purchase, store, and trade popular cryptocurrencies such as BTC and ETH. Signum's institutional B2B solution enables the crypto services by giving banks access to digital assets that are both regulated and compliant. Supporting a variety of cryptocurrencies with revenue-generating services like staking, the B2B network has over 15 partner banks. PostFinance's entry into the cryptocurrency market is a direct result of client demand. Philip Merkt, the bank's chief investment officer, made a similar observation regarding the cryptocurrency demand. Yeah, this is major news, like insanely, incredibly major news. But this happens all the time. I mean, how many times have we spoken about hundreds of banks trying to get into the cryptocurrency space? Do you understand what it means? Like the significance of a normal person being able to walk down to their local bank and then being offered Bitcoin? Do you understand that we have already integrated into the traditional financial system? Bitcoin and crypto are everywhere. And I just really want to make sure that people within the cryptocurrency space are well aware of that, because I understand a lot of times negative news kind of gets in the way and people forget exactly where we are and how far that we've come. If you had told anyone back in 2014 that a Swiss-owned bank, Swiss government-owned bank, was going to be offering their clients Bitcoin and Ether and other cryptocurrencies, these coins would have they would have popped up immediately. There would have been no discussion as to if this is bullish or bearish. How many banks do we need to continuously offer cryptocurrency services to their clients before everyone else actually gets it and understands that they're integrating all these things because they understand the long-term prospect of all of these markets? They're not integrating Bitcoin because they're like, let's give it a shot. Let's see if it works out for a good 3 months, and then no. It is integrated into their systems for the next 15, 20 years. And at that point, when Bitcoin, like I said before, when Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies are too expensive for anyone else out there to actually acquire them, everyone's going to sit there and be like, oh my gosh, I wish I had bought more. Remember how many, and I told you to do your homework before, and I hope you did. For those of you who did look it up, the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance and how many companies and banks openly announced that they are using and are going to continue using and building stuff on top of Ethereum. If you've noticed, a lot of the institutions and companies over the last couple of months who have announced that they're getting into cryptocurrencies, they all state one thing: revenue generating services like staking. Why do you, they're offering Bitcoin and Ether. What could that, it's almost like something, I guess maybe it's just random. Maybe they're, just throwing out some keywords and they're, no, I'm telling all of you, you don't understand how large all of this actually is, where all of this is going. This is the news that we get. Think about that. Every single day, the news is absolutely insane. The levels of adoption that we're seeing, the word unprecedented doesn't even begin to describe all the stuff that we see every single day and how big this market actually is. If you could, I wish I could, I mentally don't have the time. If I could compile a list of every bank, every institution, every millionaire and billionaire who announced that they were in the market, and these are just the people who were vain enough to want their news to actually be told. I told you all that before. For every millionaire, every 100 millionaire, every billionaire that there is who comes onto the cryptocurrency news space and they're like, yeah, I bought a whole bunch of Bitcoin, I have a whole bunch of Ether, I really like these cryptocurrencies, I'm buying a whole bunch of them. There's 10 more people, 15 more people standing behind them who don't want their face shown, who would rather have their finances be relatively silent and quiet, who are also accumulating. Anyway, absolutely major news. This is not the first Swiss bank that we've heard that's been doing this. This is not the first and or last bank. There are hundreds of banks on the planet who this year are going to be offering these services to their clients. And I personally had assumed, I remember in 2018, 2019, I assumed it would take us to around 2025 to 2030 to see these things launching. I assumed that we would see hyper accumulation by normal people in the cryptocurrency space. And then when there was so little cryptocurrency left that they were aware of, that the banks would then be like, okay, now we have to get into it now. But this just tells me, once again, this tells me that they already own tons of crypto. Do you want to know why? How do you offer Bitcoin and Ether to your clients if you don't have any? So that's the another Swiss bank has joined the cryptocurrency market. Hope everyone's paying attention because it's going to get real really fast. And I know that a lot of people are dollar cost averaging and buying stuff all the time. So I do tip my hat to you. Not financial advice. It's just more of a logic. I mean, just look at things around us all the time. If the news every single day was constantly dramatic or sad or whatever, okay, I get it. Every day we have good news. Okay. Let's move on. Also, I'm not sure why this was so popular. I think I know why, but alas, here we are. Jeremy Hogan, a partner at a company called Hogan & Hogan, makes sense, has disclosed his crypto portfolio, revealing that the majority of his holdings, approximately or near 75%, are in XRP, with the remaining 25% allocated to Bitcoin. Hogan, who has been closely following the ongoing Ripple versus SEC lawsuit, shared details of his wallet activity, which showed recent operations as of today, indicating that he may have purchased more Bitcoin or XRP within the past 24 hours. Here's the tweet for it right here. I tried to make it a bit bigger. It didn't really work. And then you click on it like this and it kind of just expands a little bit too far. For those of you who are interested in seeing his screenshot of his allocation for XRP and then of Bitcoin, 74.3% allocation. Although Hogan indicated that he holds other coins on other exchanges, the amounts are relatively small, with the majority of his holdings stored securely on a Ledger Nano. There we go. I almost said, oh no, isn't it Nano Ledger? Ledger Nano, I don't remember. Hogan points out that centralized exchanges do not provide coin security similar to the Ledger, and the latter allows users to control the security key phrases, which is a feature not offered by exchanges. So I think this is one of the main people who's been like following the lawsuit. I think daily he gives like a this is what's probably going to happen in the lawsuit. Have you been paying attention to what's been happening? Like one of those guys. There's like 4 or 5 of them who are quite, dare I say, popular now within the cryptocurrency space because of the information that they kind of provide. I've kind of tuned out from a lot of them because in January, you remember, they kept on mentioning that the lawsuit was almost over. Lawsuit's ending. Lawsuit ends in February. No, wait, now it's March. Wait, now it's April. And, it's kind of like, okay, you don't know when it's going to end. Only the judge at this point taking her sweet time knows when this is going to end. So I think the news is that someone who has been advocating for XRP has XRP? Right. Quite popular news story. I only have one tab here and the actual tweet just because, it seemed quite redundant to have 9 tabs of someone talking about how much XRP that they own. Cool. Congratulations. I hope that XRP goes to $4, $5, $8.50 and that he can live his best life and all the other stuff. But sure. That's the guy who has been advocating for XRP and talking positively about it for, I think, about a year. Plus, has XRP as his main holding. News. All right. Let's move on. Also in the news, there we go. Almost said Michael Strategy. Michael Saylor's company, MicroStrategy, it's MSMS, got it, or MSTR, has purchased an additional 1,045 Bitcoin for a total of $23.9 million at an average price of $28,000 per Bitcoin between the 23rd of March and the 4th of April, according to an SEC filing. So this might sound familiar. It's because like 2.5 weeks ago, they did the exact same thing. They purchased a huge amount of Bitcoin. They remade it into the news. MicroStrategy historically has been I'll say it this way, the normal precursor to the bull runs before. I don't know how they get their metrics. I don't know what AI they use. I'm not sure when they figure out what time to buy how much Bitcoin and when and all that stuff. But before in the past, when we've had multiple times news that MicroStrategy has purchased an egregious amount of Bitcoin, the market tends to take notice. After a couple of times, then the market ends up going up and everyone's like, oh my gosh, they're geniuses. And I think it's more of I feel like they have indicators or are paying for software that we simply don't have access to that's telling them a certain amount of different metrics that tells them when to buy at a certain time before the prices end up going back up. Like there are hundreds of different metrics. Some of the most famous ones are like how much Bitcoin is left on cryptocurrency exchanges. We've been seeing that the amount of Bitcoin on crypto exchanges has been rapidly dropping even as prices aren't moving. We had news a couple of days ago that 6 million Bitcoin are lost and gone forever. We also had news for those of you who missed it. This is still the largest conundrum of my entire life. I think 90% of Ether is no longer on crypto exchanges. There's only 10% of all the Ether that there is actually on crypto exchanges. I'm not sure how prices aren't moving right now, but that, alas, that's just where we are. The latest purchase brings the company's holdings. Once again, this is one company. This is one company, uno company. They own 140,000 Bitcoin, worth roughly around $4 billion at the current price of $28,500, give or take. The overall average price purchase on these holdings is $29,800 US. On the 27th of March, MicroStrategy disclosed the purchase of 6,455 Bitcoin for $161 million in the previous 5 weeks. At the time, the company also said it paid off what was left of its $205 million loan to Silvergate Bank. MicroStrategy is quite famous not only for their accumulation of Bitcoin, but also a number of years ago, they were issuing debt like themselves to be able to gather more money. And everyone was like, what are they doing? And then they were buying like $600 million worth of Bitcoin. Those are major numbers, but even then, I was having videos, you remember. I had videos where I was ranting because I didn't understand why the price had fallen that morning when we heard that one company had purchased $600 million worth of Bitcoin. For those of you who also don't know, Michael Saylor himself also, I believe, has, I think he has 120,000 Bitcoin just himself. When I talk about there's not a lot of Bitcoin left, that there's literally not a lot left on the market, that's a man and his company. They have, as far as we know, over around 260,000 Bitcoin. A man and a company. Now factor in how much Tesla has, how much JP Morgan possibly has. Now don't forget as well, the people from Coinbase and Gemini and Binance and Kraken. Do you think the CEOs own no Bitcoin? Do you remember that? Now listen, I don't know. I do not know if this is a lie or not. Let me make that explicitly clear. What was that cryptocurrency exchange a couple of years ago? This was like 3-4 years ago. One of the CEOs of a cryptocurrency exchange was trying to be transparent, and it was a complete lie. It's like, dude, you are not broke. He was trying to show how much he had in some of the top coins to show like how bullish and how diamond hands he was. And I think it showed he had, I think, like 15 Bitcoin and like 100 Ether. And I was like, sir, you can lie to yourself, but you cannot lie to me. You expect me to believe that you have under $100,000 worth of Bitcoin and barely $200,000 worth of Ethereum right now? So anyway, yeah, the accumulation continues by all these rich people. If we ever get to a point where inflation continues to rise, property prices explode, interest rates have to be lowered because the economy looks like poo-poo, and we get to $1 million Bitcoin, these people will be worth trillions of dollars. So I don't know if you missed or saw my last video where I was discussing what's here and what's coming, like what the world is going to be like over the next couple of years. But I would implore you to go check it out because it's gonna get a bit rough. That's the MicroStrategy. One company has 140,000 Bitcoin. Just them. Just that company. Oh, don't forget. Oh my gosh. There's so many different things. Did you ever see that video of that guy in Switzerland? I don't remember these people's names. Of course I don't. It was some guy who, he got famous. He has a company now. He got famous because I think in 2010, 2011, 2012, I think he put like $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into Bitcoin. He was like, yeah, sure, why not? And became, multi-hundred millionaire from it. And I think he was saying that the point of his company, he created a company, which is basically just like a trading company. So he hires like 15 people who sit there kind of all day in this like super fancy looking office, and they just trade all day. And the point of them trading is to accumulate more Bitcoin. I think we'd be in a very different market if we had like an explicit mirror that showed us exactly all the inner workings of everything that's going on. Because I feel like regardless of how many times I bring good news or there is good news, there's always like this like sense of doubt, I think, in the back of people's heads, because we've been conditioned so long in our lives to believe that the old system has to work. The US dollar has to be maintained. Banks are definitely going to find a way to like be fixed in some sort of way. Anyway, I was going to tell you some not personal stories, but I know people who are like in the market who like do business and stuff in Switzerland, and the stuff that they talk about, the people they hang out with, like these people aren't sitting on the sidelines just waiting to see like if something happens with Bitcoin. Like they literally are like, I'm worth $140 million. Not me. That's not my net worth. But these people sit there and go, okay, cool. Let's just throw like a couple of million into it. And when they see that they're making money from it, they start allocating hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month further into the market. And like, if you put 100K into the market right now, you buy 3 Bitcoin. Now multiply that by at least 500 wealthy people on the planet who are doing it. Like, it's just fascinating. And also, I assume we're going to start picking up steam once we actually get to or closer to the halving, which is just about this time next year. That's going to be a doozy for a lot of people. So, as always, keep your head down and do what you need to do to secure your own financial future, because I noticed a lot of people aren't paying attention. Last thought, I just watched something from, I think it's Australian Dateline, maybe something along the lines of that, and it was called like Generation Debt, and the video was about these young people who like just wanted to buy. They just wanted to get things. Like, you know, they wanted new dresses. They wanted new shoes. One of them bought a new car for like $60,000 on a credit card. And she was like, well, you know, I want it, so I got to have it right now. And they went to show like one other girl who like was it's not funny. She was like 20 and she was $70,000 in debt because she had been spending for 2 years and had completely lost her mind. And then the host of the show or whatever was asking them, and he was like, did you ever think about like buying assets, like using that money to buy a home? And like the look on their faces of simply not understanding that, like, oh yeah, I might actually hit 38 years old. I might get to 45 and I might need a house. I should have bought a house. I should have been buying assets. I should have been buying art. I should have been buying some stocks or bonds. It's like, you know, I just want everyone here to succeed. We know that the rich people are already going to do just well, as they've been doing well for a very long time. So anyway, yeah, that's the MicroStrategy. I got off on a bit of a tangent. This was, of course, quite popular news. MicroStrategy acquires another 1,045 BTC. They have 140,000 Bitcoin, just that one company. Okay, let's move on. Yeah, I do hope sincerely that you have all enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed your time off, ? I hope you've all been doing okay. Hope you're all having a great day, great morning, great afternoon, great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and or supporting. I was like, purporting? Anyway, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.